Hi, this is Dan Tshanda.
He's here, folks. He is here. Dan Tshanda. Think Patricia Majalisa. Think Splash. Think the Dalum Kids, the brains behind those bands, and that music is here. When I'm speaking to you now, what are you up to as of right now?
Right now I'm busy doing shows. I'm just from the show from Botswana, and then I'm busy recording the new Machikos and Dalum Kids.
The Dalum Kids are still recording?
Definitely, yes.
The albums, are they available in South Africa? Because I don't see them as much as I used to back in the 1980s.
Definitely, because now the shops, like the big shops, sometimes they don't buy. But the albums is still there, and then we still release a lot. And then some of the shops, like you go to Dakota, you will get our music. Every album is there.
And the Dalum Kids, are they still the same members that we used to listen to in the 1980s, or the lineup has since changed over the years?
The music is still the same, but the members have changed. Some of them died, along the way, and then some of them resigned. Now we've got new members. Yeah, but when I say new members, I'm talking about 15 years in the Dalum Kids. Yeah.
Now let me take you back to now that we've spoken about the Dalum Kids. Let's speak about Patricia Majalisa. Just tell me, take me back your working relationship with Patricia Majalisa then, and how you discovered her, and do you still communicate with Patricia?
I do still communicate with Patricia Majalisa, and then I met her before I formed Splash. And I discovered Majalisa that she's a good singer when she was doing the backing on Splash back in 1986. Mm-hmm. So that's where we decided with Hamilton Zimbabwe that we should record Patricia.
And how many albums did you do with Patricia Majalisa then?
How many albums? About 18 or 19.
There's 18 or 19. That's incredible for any artist, isn't it?
Yeah.
And what happened? Because then at one stage, ultimately, you then parted ways. What happened there?
She has grown up now. She has opened her own company. Now she's doing her own things, like promoting herself. But she's recording with Ghana at the moment. But when in terms of the shows, she arranged her own shows. Yeah, but we still communicate because we are not fighting. She's just grown up and doing her own thing.
I spoke to Patricia Majalisa about her meeting with Dan. Let's speak about your meeting with Dan Tshanda and Upenol Kunene. How did that happen? And working extensively with Dan Tshanda as well. Can you take us through that?
Yeah, the thing is, I was staying in Eslamini 1 in Soweto. So there's this one day that I was with my friend. We were going to Eshawela. So we went there, and as I was passing, like Nidlula, and I heard the live band playing. And then I asked my friend to wait for me outside so that I can get in there and ask for a job. And then when I was in there, I saw Dan Tshanda. By then he was playing drums because he was very young also. So I told them that I'm a singer and I wanted to work with them. And then they auditioned me. And then they said I must sing one of Miriam Makeba's song or a Madonna song, and I sang for them that song, Holiday. Holiday! Do you remember that song?
Yeah.
That's the song I sang for them, so they were happy with my voice. And then from there, they said I must come for practice and all that. Mm-hmm. And then Iskhathi Maslobo's Hamba, there was Penel, because Penel came after me. And then it was me and Penel Kunene and Joseph Chimange, and then I was the only girl. And then we called our band Flying Sound. Mm-hmm. And then we did our first album. The name of the album, it was Mr. Tony. But it was a flop. It didn't even sell too much.
Oh, no.
And then by then we didn't have money and all that.
Okay, let's come back to you, Dan. The formation of the band Splash. How did that come about? That band was huge. It was even big in Zimbabwe where I grew up. Take us through that.
Yeah, definitely. Splash, we used to call ourselves the Flying Sound. And then R.I.P, because we used to tour with Stimela. We used to go to Botswana, Namibia, and South Africa with Stimela. And then R.I.P decided to change the name from Flying Sound to Splash. Because we believed that our music, it's a great music. It needs a nice name like Splash.
Mm-hmm.
And so he gave us that name.
Mm.
Yeah.
But how did the band come together, though?
I was recruiting one by one. Some of them, they just came and joined me. Mm-hmm. And then, that's how we formed the band. Actually, I was with Patricia. And then I met Joseph Chimange. After Joseph Chimange, then Henwell Kunene. And then these others, they just came after. And then that's how we formed it, yeah.
And the sound, the Splash sound, the Majalisa, Patricia Majalisa, the Dalum Kids, the sound was unmistakably Dan Tshanda production. How did you come up with that sound? Because I know from you that then there was a lot of bands that were also imitating your sound. How did you come up with that sound? And how would you describe the sound as well? We got to know it as bubblegum, but I'm sure you wouldn't want to call your sound bubblegum.
No, mine is not bubblegum. This sound, what I did, I've mixed rock, R&B, and I've put Mbakana into everything. And then the Splash line, it's all about the bass line. So I put the rhythm like R&B, Mbakana, and the soul, like. If you know the sound like Botao Special long time ago, those sounds, I've mixed everything and come up with the Splash sound. Yeah.
Let's talk about the performances that you are doing these days. Which countries have you performed in recently?
We are performing like in Botswana, Zimbabwe, Namibia, England, South Africa as well. We're just from in Venda. 3 months ago. We are going back in September. We'll be in Venda Stadium. So, we are performing all over.
In South Africa, you are looking at places like Venda, and then you find that you have got probably more shows outside of South Africa than in South Africa. Why do you think the demand for your kind of music is kind of like it's not as huge as it was back then?
It's because people, they don't have money now. But what we know is that we get a bigger crowd than other genre of music. Like, let's say maybe house. Because, like, for instance, right now we were performing last week in Botswana. There was a free show where there was house music, and we were charging like 100 pula. And then people, they came in numbers to our show that people, they still prefer this music because we play live, we perform live. And then our music, people, they still like it a lot. But what we know is that the crowd is not like the before, because people, they don't have money now. Economy is very, very dead.
And if you take a look around you now, is there any of the new artists that you hear that you would probably want to work with? I'll tell you why I'm asking this, because I see some of, you were talking about house music there, some of the house musicians, or even the hip-hop guys borrowing samples from the 80s sound. Who would you want to work with today?
It's a lot of them, it's a lot of them. Some of them, they've got talent. Some of them, they just love music, you see. You need to choose. You need to see who have the talent. You can't just take everybody, but everybody is great. But it depends on, if you don't have a talent and you just love music, definitely you will come maybe with one hit and then you won't do it again. But if you have talent, you will do it forever. So there's people like Professor. I like working with Professor. Edie, people like those. And there's some other artists, that I would like to work with them. A lot of them in South Africa, house artists.
Have you spoken to any of them?
Professor is like my young brother.
Really?
Yeah.
You've spoken to him?
I spoke to him all the time. We are going to do something together soon.
Okay. So when it does see the light of day, so it'll be what? Is it Splash featuring Professor? Is it the Dalom Kids facing Professor? How's it going to be named?
It will be Dan Tshanda and Professor.
Okay.
Like I've done with one of the top artists of Botswana. We've got the album that is going to release next month. The top artist is called Z. Mm-hmm. He plays like Kwasa Kwasa and Kwaito. So I have mixed that Kwaito and Splash music, and it's very great. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do with Professor.
Not very many 80s musicians are surviving now. I mean, surviving, I'm talking about, still making a good living out of that music. I can name you. I can name Penny. What do you think, what do you attribute your longevity to?
The thing is that I don't change my music. I just improve it. So I'm still in the market because of that. And I make sure always that when I record, I want people to understand my music. And if I start changing and do Kwaito, that's not I don't know how to do Kwaito. I can do it, but that's not my way of doing music. I want to do what I know the best. So that is why I'll stay in the market until.
Now, you have had so many hits over the years, but we're only going to talk about one right now, Peacock. Probably one of your biggest hits. It crossed boundaries. How did that song come about?
That song, I've composed that song a long time ago because I was working at the Kextin. Kextin is a company that delivers the newspapers to the houses, like in Randburg, in Sentin, for free. Mm-hmm. So I was working there. So I was so fast, So people that I used to work with, they used to call me that I walk like Peacock. Mm-hmm. So that name, it stays in my mind, all the time when I compose, when I sing, that name just comes. So I end up composing songs with that name, using that name.
But the lyrics itself, what do they mean? Because obviously you are not talking about yourself in the song, are you?
I am.
Oh, you are? What?
Yeah. Last night I was with Disco. What did I say? Yeah, I said people call me. they call me Peacock. Yeah.
All right. So it is a Dan Tshanda song. Dan Peacock Tshanda. It is all right. Yeah. And Patricia, just take us through your recollection of how the band then changed its name to Splash. I want to hear your version, and also about the song Peacock.
We approached R.I.P. so that sibe ngama cutting race wabo. R.I.P. at that time I was working with Lina Kama Ebony. So we used to open the stage for them, touring with them everywhere. And then as we were touring with them, and then I think R.I.P. liked the way we were playing the like among ingoma zabantu. And then he said, no, let's change the flying sound name to Splash. That is when Splash is a card again. And then from there, after these tours, we came back, and then we went to the studio again, and then we recorded this album, Peacock. The one that I told them my name is Peacock. It was a hit.
It is Georgia in the afternoon, and we are talking to Dan Tshanda. Your longevity is also to do with the fact that you just did not concentrate on just being an artist, being on the road recording, but you also went into business, and you're still doing that now. Can you tell us what kind of business you are involved in now, and the companies that you are running?
I do a lot of things, for instance, but mostly of them is in music. Like in Botswana, I help artists, the government just gave me that tender. I do a lot with music, and I run companies of printing stuff. So it's a lot of things that I'm involved with, but mostly of them it's in the music side.
On the music side, you've got a label. What is it called? Is that what is it called?
Dalom Music. There's a branch in England. There's a branch in Botswana. We are trying to open another branch in Namibia. If things goes well, even Zimbabwe will have a branch. Because what we are doing, we believe in our music, And we've got a lot of friends in Zimbabwe, for sure you know that. So when we go in Zimbabwe, the stadium will be full anytime. Even now, if we arrange and go to Zimbabwe, it will be full. So we want to have a branch there, and then we believe in our music, and then definitely we think we're still going to grow up more than here.
So all those branches there, do they sign their own artists in those countries, or they just act as a distribution center for what you record in South Africa?
What is happening, we even record artists from outside. Like the last Machikos, the artist who are singing there is from Congo. So and as I said, I've got an album with the guy called V. He's from Botswana. So, and I'm recording artists. I've got artists from Zimbabwe that I'm working with. I have recorded the guy called Hexa from Zimbabwe, but the album didn't do well because there was a lot of things was happening that time. So now there's another artist that I'm talking to. Our plan is to record everybody who's got talent, whether it's from South Africa or it's from outside South Africa.
Tell me about the branch in England. What kind of artists have you got there?
We've got it's one artist that we have in England, which we are still working on recording him. But mainly we are promoting our music from this side in England. That is why we have shows like almost every year. Yeah, so we promote our music. England is to us is a bridge to reach abroad. Like right now, we have a company in America that is willing. He wants to record all our musicians, all our artists that we have under Dalom stable. Yeah, so it's through England. Yeah, that is why we have a branch.
No, congratulations, man. I mean, you guys are really flying the flag for South African music, throughout the world. I was having a conversation with Penny, and he was also telling me about some of his songs that are now big on the dance floors in the United States of America. So it's nice to see that you, Dan Tshanda, with the Splash and Dalom Kids sound is also taking over England. So let me say congratulations. And let me congratulate you on your spirit of resilience as well. From the 1980s to now, still doing what you love doing. That's not an easy task.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right.
The guy who released Penny music in America is the same guy that is going to sign Dalom. His name is Brian.
Great stuff.
He's got a very big company in America, and then he's doing well with Penny.
It's good to see that we still continue to cross those borders with our music. How do we get to find out what's happening around the different events and the artists you're signing, the new music that you're releasing on our social media pages? What are you on?
On a Facebook, you just go Dan Tshanda, and then you will see many lives of Dan Tshanda there, everything. Or you just say Dalom Music, DALOM Music. There's, I think it's about 3 groups of Dalom Music Group and Dalom Music members, Dalom Music. On the internet, you type Dan Tshanda, you find many lives of Dan Tshanda there. WhatsApp as well, Twitter is Dan Tshanda.
So are you here in Johannesburg, or are we talking to you? You are in, where are you as we speak to you now?
I'm in Johannesburg at the moment. I'm leaving this evening to Botswana.
Are you leaving for Botswana for a concert?
To do the interview. In Botswana, I've got these breweries of Botswana. They are sponsoring my groups.
Okay.
So, I'm going there to do the interview. I'll be having a promotion on Sunday, big promotion with the KBL staff, Kalahari Brewery in Botswana.
No, congratulations, man. We really appreciate you for upholding South African music, upholding South African culture, and exporting South African culture.